in his classroom stood up for him when the teacher was kind of being disrespectful to him. So what happens was, instead, it was Gordy who defended me. He stood with his textbook and dropped it. Whoomp. But Penelope stood and dropped her textbook. Whoomp. Then the other basketball players did the same, and Mrs. Jeremy flinched each and every time, as if she'd been kicked in the cock.
Where are we laughing?
And then in response, Junior says, I used to think the world was broken down by tribes, I said, by black and white, by Indian and white. But I know that isn't true. The world is only broken into two tribes, the people who are outlaws.
She can't say it.
I walked out of the classroom and felt like dancing instantly. It all gave me hope. It gave me a little bit of joy. So in this moment, he really gains hope from the encouragement he gets from his classmates and peers, which in the beginning, he didn't feel that way. It gave him a lot of hope for the future that he can fit in and be better and improve more. Was there ever a moment in your life, a moment where you've experienced this kind of hope or encouragement from people you love or just even a stranger? Discuss it with your groups.
Another repeat.
I feel like I need to think for like a year.
Yeah.
Just like one snapshot.
Last year, I think it was at Garfield High School, every single 11th grader refused to take the standardized test. That gave me hope. They didn't have to take it. We're testing way too much in school, as it is. And just the fact that every single 11th grader got together and said this is a waste of time. And in fact, I think that it is a waste of time. Shows me that there's some hope for the future. And that's just amazing. It made the headlines. It was the first high school, I think, in the state to do that.
Oh, I have one. Yay! Okay. Last quarter, I'm an integrated studies major, so elementary ed. And last quarter I took teaching PE. And I went to the class and I was like, this class is going to be a joke. But it was probably the best class I've taken in the major, just in terms of learning about myself as a teacher. He makes you get up there and teach lessons, and no other class has you do that. And what you do is you give all of your peers feedback, like you email them feedback after each lesson. And just halfway through the quarter, I got an email from my professor, and he was like, Hannah, I've never had anyone give feedback the way you give feedback. Like, you do an excellent job. You know, he was just so encouraging. He was just like, I can do this. Like, thank you. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Who's the professor of that class?
Jarrett Menting.
Oh, so his wife is Angie Menting, who she's a sports broadcaster. Yeah. He's great.
Alrighty, we're going to move on to the next activity. So we're going to create our own cartoons, and through the novel, Junior finds hope in failing and processes through his cartoons. So I found some examples of the way that he cartoons. So this one is on page 120. There we go. So in this one, he did it kind of in the style of a graphic novel. And so we can do our cartoons like that. Or in this one, he has a singular image with captions. So for ours, so there's two options. So the themes that we came up with earlier, we can choose to draw a cartoon to illustrate that theme. So if that's where the creative side comes out. It doesn't have to be, it can be related to the themes that you found within your list and within the novel. Or if you prefer some more structure, you can choose a part of the novel that's not illustrated by Junior and create your own cartoon version. And it may help to include like a quote or a page number so that there's some reference for what's going on or a caption. I'll show you my example. So I chose to do a quote at the end of the book, and I did the very last quote that we talked about in class on Tuesday. So I chose to use color, but Junior uses black and white in the book, so it's totally up to you how you want to do your cartoon. So we have supplies at the front, and we can pass out paper, and then we're going to do another activity using our cartoons afterwards. Here you go.
It's gonna be some stick figures.
I think it could be
Yeah, so we just have a second one. If people are writing on their own.